Hey, it's Luke at HIP, and if you've been listening to the Growortho podcast maybe for weeks, months, or in some cases years, you know that we typically interview an industry expert, whether it be someone working in the office or a consultant, or just a strategic partner for orthodontists. Well, we're going to change things up just a bit, and this year we've actually released 4 books. And so we're going to release every audiobook, basically a chapter for each episode. Listen, enjoy, and let us know what you find valuable and implement and what works well in your office. Thanks so much for supporting HIP, and we hope you enjoy all these episodes on the Practice Growth series.
Chapter 6. A team that embodies speed to lead. Can growing my practice really be as easy as calling leads back faster? I really can't harp on this enough. Yes, when you have the other components in this book in place, all you have to do is make sure that your front desk calls every lead back within 5 minutes. That's it. It is that simple. Now, is it easy? No, it's not. That's why you want to read the next few chapters very carefully. I will tell you exactly what to do so your scheduling coordinators never miss an opportunity to schedule a viable lead for their free consultation. You must have a process in place for following up with prospective patients. Leads are most likely coming to you from various sources, such as calls and voicemails, form submissions on your website or social media messages, comments, and campaigns. You have to think about how much time you have before these leads go cold. Most of the time, it's pretty quick. Did you know that lead conversions are 391% higher if you call within 1 minute of an online inquiry? Velocify 2012. Studies show that when you call a lead back in 5 minutes versus 30 minutes, the odds of contacting a lead drop 100 times with the long callback period. They also show that the odds of qualifying that lead in the 5-minute callback period are 21 times higher than with the 30-minute time frame. Harvard Business Review, 2011. You may be missing out on dozens of leads per day just because you aren't getting to them quick enough, and it may be costing you millions. It may sound impractical, but this callback speed isn't impossible to achieve. Your front desk and scheduling team can do it with the right processes, people, and tools. And it can make all the difference between spending thousands on marketing for no results or blowing your return on investment, ROI, through the roof. Digital leads. Here's what you need to know about digital leads. They're just people sitting in front of their computers and phones, inquiring about products and services and hoping for instant gratification. Let's imagine this scenario. After brushing his teeth on a Tuesday morning, John looks in the mirror and thinks, "Ugh, my teeth have shifted. I should have worn my retainer." He decides he's interested in Invisalign since he doesn't want to wear braces again as an adult. So he walks to his desk, opens his computer, and begins searching for orthodontists in his area. He comes across your website. Looks professional, he thinks to himself, so he requests a free consultation. "Someone will get in touch with you shortly," he reads on the screen. John continues to research other practices in his area. After submitting a couple of requests for a free consultation, he comes across Smith Orthodontics. All right, let's try this one too. He finds the Request a Free Consultation tab, inputs his information, and clicks Send. As he's closing his laptop, his phone rings 1 minute later. "Hello, is this John?" "Yes. Hi." "Hi, this is Jan from Smith Orthodontics." Shocked, John replies, "Wow, that was fast. Hi." And the consultation is booked. 30 minutes later, John receives a follow-up from your practice. Unfortunately, he is no longer interested and turns down the appointment. John's scenario gives us a glimpse of consumer behavior and the realities of today's world. With everything accessible at the click of a button, we aren't interested in waiting anymore. We will give our attention to the service that will gratify our needs quickly. Think of our obsession with same-day shipping with Amazon Prime. It doesn't matter that he previously requested a consultation with you. He is unaware of your practice and your brand. He's not emotionally invested in you. Other practices provide the same treatment, so why should yours stand out? John doesn't appreciate the differences between competitors. He just wants Invisalign, and multiple places can offer it. But right now, Smith Orthodontics has his business because they responded immediately. There are a few simple methods you can teach your team to get leads scheduled so this doesn't happen to you, such as the 5x6 method, the 72-hour rule, and virtual consultations, and using these methods can put you in the top 1% of successful practices. The 5x6 method. Train your front desk team to use the 5x6 method. They should contact every digital lead within 5 minutes of submitting a request and continue to follow up a minimum of 6 times. To ensure your leads don't slip through the cracks, they can use multiple channels to do this, such as by phone, text message, or email. A Harvard Business Review study, 2011, of 15,000 digital leads concluded that your chances of reaching a digital lead decrease by 900% if you don't respond within the first 5 minutes. However, you can boost your chances of contacting a lead to nearly 90% just by trying to contact them 6 times. If you hold your team accountable for this, you will see a noticeable improvement in your treatment coordinator's schedule. The 72-hour rule. From the moment your lead confirms that they want a consultation, you should be able to book them onto your schedule within 72 hours. You have to schedule the patient as soon as possible, or they may just as easily use another competitor's services, simply because they found an opening sooner than the appointment they booked with you. If your lead is scheduled within this 72-hour window, their odds of no-showing decrease dramatically. As we mentioned earlier, people like to be provided with quick services and don't want to wait for the things they think they should have right now. If your treatment coordinator's schedule is fully booked, let the patient know that the day is pretty busy, but you will try to squeeze them into the schedule. It is best practice to leave 1 or 2 prime spots a day open to be scheduled quickly, says Alex. Your leads may have waited weeks, months, or even years to have the courage to reach out to you finally. If you don't treat them like an urgent priority, they'll find someone else who does. By implementing the 72-hour rule, you'll see a significant increase in the number of starts, a considerable reduction in no-shows, and many more happy patients. Virtual consults. If you can't fit them in within 72 hours, always suggest a virtual consult instead. You must be thinking, virtual consults will only bring in low-quality leads. These people won't be serious about treatment. Or virtual consults are just an extra step. You're wrong. The industry has found that virtual consults are helping doctors reach the ideal patients who have the budget to start treatment right away. These patients are working professionals who value efficiency over everything else, since time is their most valuable resource. A virtual consult saves them another trip into the office, making it a more seamless process to get started. But it can also be beneficial for students with busy schedules or anyone who cannot make it in person for numerous reasons, i.e., a global pandemic that shut down the world for 2 years. The virtual appointment is the easiest option to get leads scheduled within 72 hours. If you are booked out for weeks, use this to your advantage. If your patient says they can't come in within the next few days with platforms like SmileSnap, Rhinogram, and ClearPG, it's easier than ever to offer these appointments. If you don't, then your competitors will. Alex knows the importance of getting in touch with leads quickly, so she has a few processes in place for her team to make sure they get them scheduled ASAP. My team knows that we need to get these leads the minute they come in, but obviously that's not always possible if they call on a Friday night when everyone has left the office. But they know that they must contact them first thing Monday morning and try to get them in for a same-day start. And if that isn't possible, they should suggest a virtual consult and highlight that they don't need to leave their house. They just need an internet connection. We give patients options so they know we're working with their schedules. In a world where everything is accessible at the touch of a button, you have to act quickly when trying to get leads scheduled. They will just receive the same services somewhere else if you don't. If you're using these simple methods and teaching them to your front desk and scheduling team, there's no reason why any leads should be unacknowledged or missed. The numbers speak for themselves. Of course, it's one thing to train your team on procedures and protocols, and another thing that they follow through on performing the task exactly right every time. We aren't robots, and it is human nature to take shortcuts or delete things that seem boring or redundant. Unfortunately, What our brains deem unnecessary can often be the step that makes or breaks closing a lead. As we have seen throughout this book, the little things make a big difference in turning a lead into a patient and can add up to $1 million to your bottom line. How do you make sure this is not happening in your practice? The answer is accountability, which we detail in the next chapter.